What's shaking? Hey, I'm Rick Jordan. Today, we're going all in. I wear the same thing every day. Now, with an exception or two, right? I change my shoes, I change my watch, but that's pretty much it. I wear the same freaking thing every single day. I wear a black jeans and a black t-shirt, and I was looking at this because a dude, if you look him up, Jim Quick, right? Jimkwik. You can search him on Instagram. I was at a VIP dinner with him. He was on a panel a little bit ago. We met. We've like circled the same networks for a little while, and it's like, so when we saw each other, it's like, hey, it's you. And I saw this thing that he was talking about. I'm like, you know what? This is exactly why I do this, why I wear the same thing every single day, is because there's been studies that are out there that show that you have really like a maximum amount of decisions that you can make in any given day. And that number can vary depending on how much sleep that you have, how much stress you're under, all of those things, but you have this maximum amount of decisions that you can make every single day. There's been medical studies on this about how much energy your brain can expel. And it's very interesting to me because I arrived at this stage where I just wear black jeans and a black t-shirt every day almost by accident. It was like an evolution, you know, because I'll go through this evolution of my wardrobe with you real quick, is back when I dropped a bunch of weight, right? Because I mean, when I was really, really big, there wasn't much that you can wear. I was 280 at 6'1", and it was always polos, you know, like these really baggy polos and size 42 like khakis. I mean, not like the typical computer IT guy, right? And that was me. I mean, I literally, that was me. And when I said no more and I dropped the weight, it was 90 pounds in a period of about 15 months. Then I'm like, you know what? I can wear everything. I have no limits to what I can wear now because everything will fit me in the right sizes. And I'm in like a medium to a large in a lot of things. And that's because I didn't have any muscle. Now I have a muscle mass, so I'm definitely in a large, and it fits my shoulders nice, my arms nice as somebody who wears a large shirt. But I was wearing a 2XL, sometimes a 3XL when I was super big. And when I dropped the weight, I'm like, I'm going colorful. So then I found these things. I was introduced to a designer called Robert Graham, and the colors on this stuff is amazing. The detail that's put on the shirts, and they were just all over the place. And it's like, I'm a very outgoing person, clearly, right? And I've got a lot of nuances to my personality, and I'm just very much out there, very creative, you know? So I saw these shirts and I'm like, man, that's almost like an outward expression of who I am inside. I want to wear all these things. And I did for many, many years. And then it got to the point to where I started doing a lot of media appearances about 5-6 years ago. And then a couple years into building my personal brand, I hired a executive director, and she, in essence, like rebranded me. And she's like, you need to wear this stuff. I'm like, okay, I will. So it became, you know, plain t-shirts, and there was a couple different colors. There was like a purple one, a couple different shades of purple because that's colors, right? And jeans, they were black, they were blue, whatever, white t-shirt, you know, it was just pretty much a plain solid color t-shirt, no pocket, and got some great shirts. But then that even ended up evolving. So if you look a couple years ago, like 3 years ago, I had different colors shirts on. And now it eventually evolved into just black t-shirts and black jeans. And when I was wearing all of these different things, it's like, I am not joking. I had about 70 of these Robert Graham shirts because I invested in them over time. They were not inexpensive shirts. They were anywhere between $200 to $500 a piece. So imagine that, right? That's a lot of money. But I'd go into my closet and I'd be like, what am I going to wear today? And I would just stand there and I would look through all these shirts, and I had so many choices in front of me, and I would spend so much time trying to pick out what I was going to wear in the morning that it just added this time onto my day. And I don't know how this affected different decisions that I made at that time, because I can't place myself back in those moments for this. But now, after reading these studies and hearing about these studies about you have a maximum amount of decisions that your brain can handle on any given day. And I think of my mornings now, which is black jeans and a black t-shirt. There is zero decision-making power or energy that's expended getting ready to face the world every single day, getting ready to go out and create things every day, getting ready to just be seen by everybody every day. There is zero energy that is wasted or used in order to decide what I'm wearing. And I always say this as a joke, it makes packing really easy too, because I mean, I can pack in literally about 15 seconds now, because it's just throwing in what I need, a couple of t-shirts and jeans, and then that's it, right? And then if you look historically back at certain people, right? Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, did the same thing. He was always in blue jeans and a turtleneck. You look at Mark Zuckerberg, same exact thing. He's gone through a couple different evolutions, but it was like the same hoodie every single day. Then it became the same t-shirt every single day. There's other examples of this. I mean, it's ironic that they're all within tech firms. I have a tech firm, but how that doesn't take away from my day is priceless to me. And how I don't have to waste time thinking about what I'm going to wear is just absolutely freeing for me. And it became part of my brand too. I mean, I go on nationwide media. You can look it up. I go on Newsmax, CNN. Sorry, not CNN. That's the major nationwide network I haven't been on yet. Wow, I wasn't thinking about that, right? News Nation, ABC, CBS nationwide. You know, just all these different media outlets that are quite large that have, like Fox in Washington, D.C. The last time I was on there, 1.7 million people saw me. I got the ratings from the network, and they're like, that was awesome. Way to go. Your ratings just like pummeled everybody else when I was on there. And I was on there in a black t-shirt. You see all these people worrying about what they're wearing and trying to go out with all these suits and all of these dresses and make themselves just dressed to the nines to be seen by people every single day. It's like, how much time did you waste and how much energy did you expend going into that? And that's their thing, right? My thing is I wear the same thing every single day. Now, what I'm encouraging you to do today, because I feel absolutely like you need to express yourself visually how you want to. You know, for me, this matches me. I'm ritualistic in a lot of different things, especially my morning routines. It's the same thing every day. That's who I've been for the longest time. So this like kind of fell into place for me, is how I dress, how I act in the mornings without wasting that energy. For me, it's wasting energy on that decision on what to wear. What I'm going to encourage you to do is not necessarily do that. I mean, if you want to pick it up in black jeans and black t-shirt, go for it, whatever. That's your gig. But I encourage you to express yourself visually. But what I want you to do is start to look at all these different places in your life where you have to make these decisions every single day that you don't necessarily have to. Maybe there's some things you can do, like instead of figuring out, and this could even help you lose weight. I am not kidding. This could help you lose weight. Rather, this is why meal prep is an amazing tool in order to consistently stay nutritious and mind the amount of intake you have in calories and everything else in your macros, so that you can actually maintain a healthy weight or even lose weight to where you want to be, is because you're removing the decision of lunch from your day every single day. It's not just affecting the energy, but you're making a decision for lunch every single day when you could meal prep, cook a whole freaking crock pot of shredded chicken and some rice, and that becomes your lunch every single day of the week, at least while you're at the office or whatever it is, you know, while you're at home working, if you're a remote worker. But it removes the decision from your life. It's actually almost like making the decision exponentially, because you're making one single decision that will affect you for the next 7 days. And you don't have to make that decision over and over and over and over and over again. And you can just focus on other things that matter and achieve the outcomes that you want by dropping weight or maintaining a healthy weight. It's freaking powerful. So if it's not changing your clothes or the way that you look, what you wear, and removing that decision from your life like I did in the morning, it could be some other place or some other places in your life that you could remove those decisions for positive outcomes and manifesting more time and more energy in your life, because you have removed the waste from your decision making. It's powerful. So wherever it is, take a look at that and take inventory. That's just one example that I'm giving you, but your situation will be unique. And if you sit down and think about it, or at least start to put this in the back of your head a little bit, you'll start to pop things up and notice them as your next week goes by here, as the weekend comes about. Start to think about these things and be aware. Notice areas where you're making these decisions that are repeatable every single day, and make them repeatable, but make the decision one time to affect the next week, the next month, the next year. And watch whatever it is, because you're allowing more space then for other things into your life when you do that. Reducing the amount of decisions you have to make actually expands the amount of opportunities that you have.